Hello, everybody. My name is Lawrence Lowe, and today I'm here at the Sunset Dunes Park here in San Francisco. We're in the Sunset District, also known as District 4, and today we're here to uncover the controversy behind the opening of this park, as well as the connection to its recall of Joel Engardio. All right, let's go talk to some people.
Now, before we get into the interviews, let's go over some context. So, this is Sunset Dunes Park. It is on what is now the former Great Highway Road, which is one of the three major roadways of the Sunset District, the other two being 19th Avenue and Sunset Boulevard in the middle. Great Highway Road is 3 miles long and runs along the western coast of the city and the entire side of the Sunset District. The new park takes up a whopping 2 of those 3 miles, as shown in orange. The park was opened on April 12th, 2025 by this guy, Joel Engardio, District Supervisor of Sunset District. He was first elected back in January 8th in 2023, where he ran and won his election on popular stances like more housing, fighting homelessness, public safety, and education. All was going well until the November 2024 election, where he supported a proposition known as Prop K to close the Great Highway Road forever. Supporters of his proposition argued that the creation of the park would revitalize the Sunset, creating a stronger community and resolving the long-going issue of the environmental concern for erosion. After a citywide vote and 55 to 45, Prop K passed and the permanent closure of the Great Highway was underway. This decision was deeply unpopular with the residents of District 4, with 70% of the voter turnout on Prop K being against it. The backlash was immediate. Within weeks, a grassroots movement emerged that recalled Joel's special election. Despite last-minute efforts from the Counter Stand with Joel campaign, the momentum had already shifted, and on September 16th, 2025, barely 5 months after the park had opened, Joel Engardio became the first ever district supervisor in San Francisco history to be removed from office.
Now that you guys are all caught up, let's get into the interviews. Could you tell me some overwhelming positives that you think the park has brought to the neighborhood?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, just taking a look out here, there's literally hundreds, if not, yeah, we're getting into several thousand people out here today. So, it's getting people outside. They're walking, they're exercising, they're enjoying the ocean environment here. It's a great park.
In terms of so there's recent controversy in terms of the closing, in terms of like
Yeah,
Joel Engardio and
sure.
Prop A, Prop K. Um, what do you think is the general consensus that people have? Do you think that the general positives outweigh the negatives?
Well, yeah, everyone has their personal situation. I live fairly close to here, and love the park, but I get people who, that this was their main route of commuting, and now, it's an additional 10, 20 minutes or whatever it is each way. So I can see why some folks don't love it. But yeah, I mean, that's why we put it up to voters, and and we'll see. I mean, I know Joel was recalled. So yeah, hopefully there'll be some sort of resolution to whether it's all the time shut down as it is or just weekends.
Does it make Sunset a better or worse place to raise your kids?
Oh, better for sure. Yeah, yeah. Like there's all kinds of art that's been set up. Yeah, just like shutting down JFK in Golden Gate Park. Like, yeah, where we have folks who can get on their bikes and not have to worry about traffic. Yeah, to me.
Hey, everybody, here we are with Jacky, Levi, and Rebel. Uh, Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
Born and raised here in San Francisco, up near Stonestown, on the far end of the other city, far end that way, up near the city. Yeah. Both my parents sold real estate here, so I went all over the city with them, and I have 4 brothers and sisters still here in the Bay Area. I went to school here in high school in San Francisco. Yeah.
Awesome.
I now live in the East Bay. Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit more about the history of Great Highway and how things have recently evolved?
Well, going back, the history is it was which is why, in my opinion, it was quite dangerous. It was a raceway. It was a raceway. Cars would have races out here. And then and then, I mean, as you can see, the road is needs a lot of work, and so over time, well, if I remember in COVID, this is when it was originally shut down. Shut down for a couple of years. I was out here running my dogs and everything, 'cause everything else was shut down. And then uh, yeah, so for as long as I can remember, this has been a raceway, a really dangerous raceway, because cars would crash and everything out here. So, but and then after 2 years, when the COVID restrictions were being released, it then went to weekends being closed, and then last year it got voted in, and it was closed permanently 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm totally for it. I'm totally for it. It's not for roads, and not it's not for cars. It's not made for it. It has too much maintenance. The wind and the sand and everything. It's not made for cars. So
So, as you might know, there's been controversy in terms of the recent connection between the closing of the road and also the new special election with the recall of Joel Engardio. You just mentioned that you were in support of the closing of the
yeah.
road. Could you give me some ideas on positive elements that the park brings to the community as pushback to the recall Joe movement?
I heard about the recall. I don't know a lot about it, but I remember hearing about it. But since I'm not a resident here, I didn't vote on it. But I remember hearing about it because I'm on their website and get their emails and everything. So, but yeah, I heard about that happening. I'm not sure what the connection was between that recall and the Great Highway or anything. But I know there's still a lot of people who don't want it closed. Yeah, so because they want to use it for their cars, from what I've heard, they want to use it as a drive-through back and forth, and I mean, in my opinion, it's not meant for cars. It was a long time ago, but not so no.
So generally, this park is a great upgrade in your view.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of places for bikes, and there's plenty of places to walk across to get to the beach. And so yeah, and there's plenty of other places like 19th Avenue and Sunset and everything that, where you can drive, but it's not safe to be driving at all. It's because it's people drive too fast, they don't pay attention. And I remember, if you're a pedestrian and you're trying to cross, yeah, people don't always stop at lights when they need to. So it can be really dangerous if you're a pedestrian and you need to cross and everything. So it's better off being close, in my opinion. Yeah.
Now I want to speak more about the general development of Sunset as a neighborhood. As we know, San Francisco has problems that extend beyond this neighborhood, that which solutions leak into the neighborhood. So in terms of development and overall change in the neighborhood,
In my opinion, as far as I know, San Francisco's always under change. It's always under change. I mean, I mean, even and this is just one of the additional places that it's under change. I mean, look what's going on with what happened at Candlestick. I mean, Candlestick was torn down, and they've got condos going up in there, and that whole area, Hunters Point, used to be. I think it's changed a little bit. It used to be a dangerous, nasty, horrible place to go to. But with Candlestick and Oracle Park now going up, which I've been there numerous times. It's a gorgeous place. So San Francisco is underneath constant change. So and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because it has a lot to offer. I mean, the endless beaches and everything. Change is good. Change is good, in my opinion. So
another big theme about this documentary is the population of people constantly leaving in terms of the Sunset, while a new wave of people are moving into the neighborhood.
I still have
Establishment.
family here in right here in San Francisco. Yeah, and we usually have like Christmas Eve is at my brother's house up near in the family house up near Stonestown. My niece out near I'm not sure what the neighborhood is called, like Nob Hill. So yeah, I still spend a lot of time here. I go to Fort Funston regularly. There's a big dog park out there. Last weekend I was here watching Andre Theory at the jazz club. And I think for the last 4 weeks I've come in here on the weekends and done things in San Francisco. It's so easy to get here and it's really friendly and Bart and everything. Yeah, so
May I ask you what drove you to leave? And also, may I ask you, since you have so many people who live in Sunset, if conversation has been brought up about whether or not they've considered leaving? And could you give me more insights into why or why not?
Well, no, the only thing is because I graduated high school in '82, and I had to start working. I didn't have the opportunity to go to college. So it was I had to start working. So it's just a matter of getting jobs and figuring out. But I would go to community colleges. I went to City College, Community College, which is a great, wonderful, wonderful school. And then it was just a matter of, following jobs and following opportunities and things like that. So yeah, it has nothing to do with San Francisco. It's just a matter of following opportunities, things like that. My brother and his wife are both teachers. My brother works down at Los Altos, at a school down there, and then his wife is somewhere on the peninsula. I don't remember. So yeah, and they have, as far as I know, I haven't heard about any changes that they want to do. So, and then my niece and her husband, they just had a baby. So as far as I know, they're planning on staying. So yeah, yeah.
All right.
So.
Hey, everybody. Today we're here with,
Harlen. I'm Hudson.
and how are you guys feeling about the park today?
It's pretty exciting, pretty cool. It's great. A lot of great energy. A lot of great people. Yeah.
And do you guys usually come out to the park? How often are you guys coming out here?
I mean, we don't come out here too often, but when we do, we always have a blast. Yeah, it's always pretty crowded. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is there anything you want to share in terms of like why you like the park? Maybe you've been here with friends or family.
I mean, we're here with our family right now. This is my brother. There's a skate park down there that we've seen people doing like tricks and all that stuff. We've had multiple beach bonfires down the beach down there. Uh, it's just a great place to be. Much better than when cars were here. Yeah, the cars really kind of put more people on the beach and stuff when like they kind of limited where like I don't know bikers could like go and stuff. I guess and it's I guess like the people that love to bike can now go on. I don't know how many mile long stretch of road this is, but I guess that really helps bikers with their goals. I don't know. Yeah.
You guys are from Sunset, correct?
We don't actually, but we're not. We're
What part of the city are you guys from?
from Excelsior area, Mission Terrace. Yeah. Yeah, Mission Terrace. Yeah.
Overall, do you think this park is an upgrade or a downgrade to the general energy, the general life of being in the city?
Upgrade for sure. 100%. It's much better. Much better, yeah, because like I guess it gives you more space to kind of like hang out. You can definitely do more parties, and when cars were running, there was a lot of like exhaust, and you could like kind of smell it in the air, and that kind of takes away from the sea salt kind of ocean vibe. Yeah.
Hey everybody, here we have Sarah, who is a long-term resident in Sunset. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I moved to the Sunset in 2015. I've been living there since. I'm in college right now, but I still like it's my permanent address. Yeah.
Like, tell me a little bit about your relationship and connection with Sunset.
Sure. So,
Okay.
when I first moved into the Outer Sunset and for like the past like I don't know, maybe like 7 years, um, the Outer Sunset has always felt like kind of out there and like there's no like real community. It's just kind of a bunch of houses, and there's no like communal space where people can come together. You kind of have to take the train or drive to like, you could go to like Dolores Park or something, but it's never been like the Outer Sunset has a place for people to come together.
I see. So, in recent developments of the neighborhood, do any of these concern you in any way?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some issues that I see with the Sunset Dunes. I think that Um, Obviously, like the Great Highway was a really easy way for people to get from um, the south side of the south to get to the south north. And very quickly, like there's no, well, there's like stoplights, but every like few blocks. Um, and so it's a really easy way to drive. Um, but now, like, it's a place where people can walk around. And I remember in the start of the pandemic when they started shutting down the Great Highway on the weekends for people to like go and like use the Great Highway for like biking and running and stuff. Like, it was a really big deal to me because my house was pretty far away from like any kind of park. Um, and so it was really great to have an accessible place where I could, like spend a bunch of time outside and not have to worry about cars if I was biking. Um, and it was also a good place to hang out with people.
And tell me exactly how close you are relative to the park. For example, how much of a walk would there be?
Yeah, so I live on 46th and Uloa, so it's about like a 4-minute walk. Um, it's really close. I mean, it's nice because the beach has always been there, but you know, it's a big park.
So, uh, as I'm sure you know by now, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the decision to open the park. Uh, could you see or give insight into any way of which maybe your neighbors would feel negatively about the park?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think one of the biggest arguments against the park is that it creates more traffic in our like avenues, which is a big issue because a lot of people, are walking around the neighborhood and they don't want to have to worry about, their dog getting hit by a car because someone doesn't want to stop for a stop sign. Um, and I think that it's a completely valid like argument. Um, I think that there definitely has been an increase in traffic along the avenues. Um, but I think that maybe more education on alternative routes would be kind of important so that people are avoiding the neighborhood streets. So like along where the Great Highway was, like right next to it, there's a very big like street that is not like right next to houses. And Sunset Boulevard is also an option, and 19th Avenue is also an option. Um, I don't know. I also think that um, I've heard other arguments talking about how those alternative routes are slower than the Great Highway was. But in my experience, every time I drove down the Great Highway, the stop signs were always like misaligned. Like you had to go like 25 miles per hour to like make the green light every time, which is the same amount or the same speed that you would be driving down the alternative routes. So I think it's a pretty silly argument to make.
So, in terms of the day-to-day influence of the closure of Great Highway, how would you rank that on a scale of 1 to 10? And also just tell me like why.
Um, so I mean, for me personally, like when I'm home and also for my family, we maybe this is like not very aligned with other people's views, but we weren't using the Great Highway like 80% of the time. Now, like every day, my mom's going out for runs in the morning. Like she has all the space she needs. She doesn't have to worry about cars. Um, you know, like I think that it has positively impacted our life more than it has negatively impacted our life. Like, not being able to drive down the Great Highway isn't really an issue for us at all.
How about in the context of the overall development of the city for the high demand of public spaces and also the high demand for public housing? Because This also ties really closely to the closure of JFK Road, in which I think most people would say is a very huge success story.
Mhm.
But so how do you think this ties into the bigger theme of the city in terms of its development?
I definitely think it's a more positive direction for the city. I think that it's encouraging people to take public transportation instead of driving. I think that it's encouraging people to bike, which is not always been a big priority for the city. I mean, there's been bike lanes, but I think that it's important that they continue building the infrastructure for people to be able to commute in other ways than driving. Um, I also think that San Francisco built the tunnel tops, which has seen a lot of positive feedback, and I really enjoy the tunnel tops, and everyone I know kind of enjoys the tunnel tops, and I think that having more space for people to be outside and be with community is really important, and I think it's a very big positive step.
Looking ahead, how would you like to see District 4 or the city evolved in the next few years, maybe?
Yeah, I think that going on into the future, I think that it's important for the city to prioritize, um, you know, walkability, um, anti-car infrastructure. Like, I think that it builds a lot of community. I mean, there's tons of cities in Europe that, you don't see car usage the way that you see in the United States. And I think that um, they live really amazing lives. And if you can find a way to change a city and build the infrastructure to be less car centric, I think that that's really great. And I think that, they're doing it in a way that's also making a third space for people, where you don't have to spend money. Um, and it's very accessible. You can take buses there, trains there, and it's also beautiful. Like, why do you need to have cars driving down a beautiful place? Like, you can walk there. I don't know.
Okay, N now speaking back on to the Engardio situation, do
Mhm.
you think that with a 70% disapproval rating amongst your fellow neighbors of opening the park, do you think that they were justified in terms of their anger and also their activism to remove him?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just the 30%. I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I think that for that 30%, the Sunset Dunes are really affecting their lives in a positive way. Um, and I also think that, you know, people don't really like change, and the Great Highway has been there for a really long time. I actually don't know when it was first built, but oh, wait, I also meant to bring up the fact that like the city spends so much money every year taking care of the Great Highway.
It's true. Another person brought that up in terms of just scooping sand.
Yes, it's literally just scooping sand, and also it was like kind of crumbling, like
Hmm.
whatever. So I feel like maybe the 70% don't know like how much the city was having to take care of the Great Highway. And also like our sea levels are rising, and maybe it's smart to like let the earth just do what it's doing. I don't know, like let it be.
Now that we've heard the main positives that people have about the park, let's listen to some opinions from people who are maybe in the middle. Today we're here with Miles, Joshua, and Ricky. Tell me about a little bit about yourself. Where are you from in the city?
Well, I'm from here actually. I got an apartment down there, in Great Highway, one. Live here. Moved here about 4 years ago. So I saw when the Great Highway wasn't closed, and I saw when it was like first got closed down. Yeah, and obviously I'm still here.
And just speaking personally, how often do you come out here to the Great Highway Park?
2 times a day. Yeah, I walk my dogs for about 4 hours a day. So it'd be 2 hours. Oh, there's another dog, sorry. It'd be 2 hours, one side and then the other. Because I'm in like, my house is right in the middle.
And could you describe any? Well, it seems that you're a big fan of the park, and there's been recent controversy in terms of politics and what's going on, and I'm not sure how informed you are on the Joel Engardio situation.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him. I just know that he's the guy who shut us down, and that kind of a prick. Yeah.
Could you describe any frustrations or negative aspects about the park that you think Sunset people might relate to?
Oh man, when it first shut down, it was real bad. We had riots. Not really riots, but we had protesters. There you go, that's the part. We had protesters, a lot of people putting like signs in the windows. I think they tried to march here one time, but it didn't last that long. Protests here are pretty calm. But there was a lot of negative backlash, and I didn't really like it too either. Yeah, a lot of traffic got diverted here. You know, a lot of accident spikes. We got an old lady got ran over.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah.
But would you say, so there's certain aspects about for example, here today we have this event bringing together the community. How would you say that, on the scale of positives and negatives, how would you say this park has generally impacted the vitality of the neighborhood?
Well, when it first opened, I think it was pretty like negative, but now I think it's more the community trying to make up for what they lost, because we have a lot of traffic now, and it's like harder for people to get by and stuff. But I think they're making up for it. I don't think is this city. I don't know, but I think the events are mostly not really by the city. It's helping more by the community. We're like surviving out here, making best of it.
What are you hoping for in the future of Sunset, and perhaps in the future of city planning, development, and decision making in terms of leaders?
I think they should shut down that side fully. Maybe open that street at the end too and shut it off. There's one side that's open over here because of police patrol here, but that's caused some issues because some people, maybe they're new here, or maybe they're like they used to be here a lot, and they haven't come in a while. They blaze through here. It's pretty dangerous, because they get confused, even though they put all those like concrete balls. And I think now that it's shut down, at this point, I think they should cater more to the kids, because that's mostly who comes out here, kids and like people bike. The skate park was a really good addition. Yeah, I like that. Maybe to add like a jungle gym or like a playground here somewhere. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's very insightful, and hope you have a great day.
Yeah, you too, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
My name is Wilson, and I lived here my whole life. What I like about this neighborhood, it's has nice weather.
My name is Raymond, and I've lived in Sunset all my life, so like 20 years. And I like this neighborhood because it's quiet. It doesn't feel like too packed, and it feels like safe at night.
What do you think about the recent changing in the neighborhood, both in terms of like the new construction and things going on, old stuff that you used to like going away, new stuff popping up?
The traffic lights?
Yeah, traffic light policy.
No, like at
what? Yeah.
Oh, Terraville.
Terraville?
On
I
Terraville.
don't like that shit. That shit is
Like going down Terraville.
Parkside.
It's like going down Terraville. It used to be stop signs. They took
Oh, so
away
they
the
made
stop
traffic
sign
lights
and made it
instead.
into a traffic light.
Today, earlier, me and you went down to the park, right? Due to the opening of the park and the large unpopularity, do you think that they're valid in terms of how mad they are about the situation?
If you're near it and they took your road away,
Yeah.
you're gonna be mad.
Yeah, if I live near it, it'll deeply affect me.
Because we take the same route to work. If it was Great Highway, like imagine if they took away Sunset Boulevard on us.
Yeah.
Seeing it in person, it seems like a good addition, and it has like people coming out playing on the play structure and exercising and all that, and I feel like it also brings in some of like the younger community, like making memories with their family, because it's a little easier to like you don't have to worry about cars and stuff coming through and back. But I see like why Valen and Vincent's dad would be mad, because I feel like the people who use the road, like, it makes it a lot harder, or they have to kind of like live around it, maybe leave the house a little earlier, maybe stuck in traffic somewhere else, and Yeah, and he hasn't seen the park, so you're not gonna answer this one.
How come you didn't go see the park?
Well, first thing, I never knew about it. The second, I wouldn't really care for the park.
So it doesn't seem that fun to you. You're trying to say that the park doesn't seem that fun to go to, so
And basically, yeah, I would never go there, really.
because of this park, do you feel like the park has any impact on your day-to-day life at all?
No.
I don't think so either. I don't drive like close to it at all. I usually use Sunset Boulevard because it's closer to my house and the freeway and stuff.
Your guys' parents are immigrants,
Yes.
so and for some reason they chose Sunset as their home. Why did they make the move here?
For me, my dad actually came to the Richmond district first, and then later on, him and his brothers saved up and got a house in Sunset. But I don't really know the reason, but a lot of, I guess, my family members kind of move around that since my grandparents lived at that first house.
What do you guys think about like the recent housing development? For example, like we know, like right where Lake Merced starts to Sunset, they're starting to begin that taking over of the apartments that are planning to go through Sunset Boulevard, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that matters to you much, or do you think that's a good thing? Like more people are gonna have cheaper housing. Because some people might
Well-
say like, "Oh fuck, bro, it ruins the Sunset vibe."
Yeah, I feel like it ruined it because how are you supposed to get there and like where you gonna park? Like you just gonna.
I feel like it is helping people, but at the same time, it's sad to say like it's gonna make Sunset Boulevard look a lot different. If it was all packed with houses, and some spots where like we're used to it being like a store and a parking lot, it changed into an apartment. It's gonna feel a little bit weird, and that block is gonna have a lot more people than the other blocks. The other blocks are just gonna be regular houses next to each other, and then there's one building with like so many, houses or like so many apartments.
Do you think
It brings a lot of people to that area where it used to like around that is gonna be a lot just regular houses.
and why is that a bad thing?
I feel like it's not bad. It's just different. The people around it is not gonna be used to it. People is living on those blocks that are looking at apartments now, where it used to be a place with just houses, I guess.
So you said earlier that you liked the neighborhood because it was quiet, because it was safe, because there was less people, right? Less packed.
Yeah,
You don't feel like these things collide?
it's gonna get more crowded. It could get worse. It could not get worse. Depends who comes in, but yeah, it is gonna get more crowded. I feel like every neighborhood might end up at that point with just a lot of people, just because like we're gonna need more housing anyways. Like one day, it's gonna get crowded and stuff. Like it's gonna change.
I don't know. I probably go there like once a year,
Yeah.
so I don't think it will really affect me. Maybe if I got have kids, I'll bring them over there, but that's it.
Yeah.
But there
I
is
said that.
traffic though. I don't know why. Like I won't lie. Today I seen the traffic. I just remembered
Can you talk about this, bro?
when
On the mic?
we just got there
Hmm.
we started off near the zoo, like the beginning of Great Highway, and there's like a connection road from Lake Merced, like Skyline coming down. You know when you turn left?
Yeah.
Now everybody gets stuck there because they can't keep
Okay,
going
yeah.
straight. They have to turn to another road. And there's some weird roundabouts. There's
Oh.
roundabouts with stop signs in the middle of it.
I never been there before.
We were recording today there.
Hmm.
It's like it's a round, and then when you like halfway down the round, you just have to stop and wait,
The
let
fuck?
the other car go straight.
I never been.
It made no sense.
Yeah, that's make no sense.
And it's like an awkward spot. Like today, the fucking garbage man got stuck there,
The fuck?
and nobody could pass him because he's too
Why?
wide, and he had to stop at that stop sign. Yeah, so traffic do be a little bit messed up from that.
You don't think that affects you at all? Or you haven't noticed it, huh?
Not on daily, because we do not live that close. We never use that road.
Hmm.
Maybe like
I see.
once a month, like if we going to like the beach.
Can I
Or-
smoke on camera?
Yeah, yeah,
Zoo.
go ahead.
Like if we're going to the zoo, the beach, stuff like that. Like, but it's not a daily thing for us, bro.
Yeah.
We use Sunset
Yeah,
Boulevard
yeah.
because we live close to Sunset Boulevard, and like 19 is trash. 19 Ave. I
Yeah,
hate
19
going there.
Ave,
I
too
never.
much
It's hella
traffic.
bumpy, bro.
Too much traffic.
Yes. If you go
There's like
get
many.
off 280, you better turn to Brotherhood and not take 19th when it's traffic time. Because
Yeah.
no car is moving, bruh. The
No,
19th
any
is trash.
any other direction is faster than 19 Avenue.
19th is horrible. Like traffic time. Oh my god, 19th
No,
is
yeah,
the worst,
no,
bro.
regardless.
And there's like speed stuff.
No,
there.
yeah, regardless,
Oh.
cause there's traffic.
Bumpy.
I don't know. And there's cameras
Bumpy as fuck.
and there's traffic lights.
Oh my god, what if Sunset Oh shit, what if Sunset Boulevard happens, like, becomes that?
Oh hell no.
Like, you know how they're building houses on Sunset Boulevard?
Yeah.
What if
That's
people
not-
were just parked on the side of Sunset Boulevard?
We're gonna park.
Yes, it's gonna be bad, bro.
So what are you guys hoping for the future of what they're going to be developing in Sunset?
Like, damn, hopefully they don't make more houses, but more houses is good for the people. It's selfish to say don't build more houses, just because we want it to, like, look like Sunset. Keep doing those things that bring out families and kids to, like, work out and go out in general. And just, like, little construction things they do, like fixing up roads, the electricity part of it seems good, everything like that. The more they build stuff that brings kind of crowded stuff, like more housing is good because people can live here, but at the same time it makes that spot kind of harder for everybody else to go around. Like 19th Avenue, there's a lot of cars parked on the side of 19th that can make it kind of feel like a tighter road.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Finally, let's hear some opinions from people who absolutely are against the park.
我名係 Andy，我咧就嚟咗三藩市咧已經有31年啦。我結咗婚之後咧就 move 過嚟新潟，因為新潟嘅區咧係比較適合家庭有埋細路仔嗰啲地方，因為佢有好好嘅學校啦，比較方便啦，唔使去好遠啦，所以我就選擇咗喺新潟住。我已經喺新潟住咗25年啦。OK，而家第二個問題咧，因為我嗰時選擇咗呢度，結咗婚之後選擇咗呢度咧之後咧，就冇幾耐就有咗個細路仔啦。咁咧，呢細仔都係喺新潟出世，喺新潟讀小學、中學，high school都喺埋就呢度。同埋佢呢個新潟啲校區咧係喺三藩市嚟講係比較好嘅。咁我諗好多 parent 咧。有細路仔之後咧，佢哋都會想搬入嚟新潟呢個區，係比較方便嘅，樣樣都比較方便嘅。咁第三個問題咧，三藩市呢幾年咧嘅變化咧，就喺治安嗰方面係變得好差噶啦。你好似周圍都啲人打玻璃啦，啲汽車俾人打玻璃啦。我有個工友一年一個月就俾人打2次啦。你好似啲個個都知㗎啦呀！你去 walk in 買嘢，睇住嗰啲人係咁樣攞晒啲嘢走，嗰啲店員都攔唔到佢，即係呢啲啦就變化咗好大咯，冇以前咁，即係覺得以前初嚟到新潟嗰時啦，呢個區係好好嘅，覺得好安全嘅，但係而家咧就覺得係冇咁安全咯，另外咧嘅啲街啦。就以前好似就冇咁爛咁樣，呢幾年好似爛咗，又冇人去整冇乜人理咁樣。嗰個公園咧，佢成立咗公園之後咧，我都係去過1次我覺得佢就係冇乜點樣變化，佢就係放幾樣嘢咁落去，好似好簡單咁。其實講公園咧，根本就係講都係公園嘅同埋如果造成嘅交通變化真係好大佢自從封咗佢 highway 之後咧，咁咧變咗就啲車啦、新潟波羅華啦同埋19街真係塞咗好多啦。我以前收工嗰時咧，即係未將佢 highway 封咗之前咧，我以前收工喺19街翻入嚟嘅咧，都冇咁塞嘅。而家有時我3點零鐘已經可以去喺280嗰度啦，未出19街已經開始塞得好犀利啦。因為啲車個個都要轉晒過嚟，同埋啲傳媒嗰邊啲車都要個個轉晒過嚟喺19街嗰邊嗰啲傳媒咯。所以 我覺得佢封咗佢喺 highway 咧係一個好大嘅錯誤，同埋70%以上嘅人咧都反對封咗佢喺 highway。所以點解我哋個個都要列 call 呢個 supervisor 咧？因為佢做咗一個好錯嘅決定啊！同埋造成我哋新潟而家嗰啲街啦，好似好 busy 咁樣，因為佢新潟菠蘿話同埋啲全民想過去啲 City 嗰邊啦，都去唔到佢喺 highway 嗰邊，行唔到佢喺 highway 啦，所以轉晒入嚟啲內圍街度，所以覺得而家冇咁好咯。咁咧，咁你梗係自己住嘅地方就多咗車經過，梗冇咁好，邊個都唔中意自己住嗰個地方就有 heavy traffic 噶啦，梗係安靜啲好啲啦，大家都係想有好啲嘅環境，同埋佢 highway 咧係唔需要咁樣封嘅，你好似 weekday 嗰啲地方，你 weekend 3、2日啊仲 OK，weekday 啦你開放等啲，因為其實喺 weekday 翻工嘅時間咧係唔係好多人落去佢 highway 嗰度玩嘅？我有時 day off 啦，我行出去睇下啦，嗰度都唔係好多人嘅，就算你散步，你側邊已經有條人行道啦嘛，唔需要行出去馬路嗰度啊嘛，啊，所以佢對我哋生活上嘅影響係幾大嘅。講話唔夠屋住呢個問題啦，因為有時又好多係城市嗰個計劃問題。你好似我哋新潟呢度啦，佢有時嗰個地咧係好大嘅，但係佢當時起嗰時咧就係起到好細，但係而家你好似我哋新潟好多啲屋主都想去加建，將間屋自己加大啲，但係因為佢有好多啲 policy 啦，限制你，變咗你搞到啲屋主冇興趣去將自己嗰間屋擴大啲。你好似有啲屋成幾千尺，你3000尺嗰笪地，但係間屋起咧1000尺都唔夠，咁你將間屋起大啲啦，咁你可以住多啲人啊嘛，咁你咪變咗浪費嗰啲土地咯。咁你將嗰個 policy 放寬鬆啲啦，唔好揸得咁緊，又唔好咁多限制啦。咁啲屋主啦，因為有興趣將間屋擴大咗，本嚟一間屋可以住5個人，咁佢擴大咗之後咧，佢可以住10個人啊嘛。第一，即係要你想 keep 住啲人喺度啦，喺新潟住啦，咁你梗係要好嘅環境啦。咁啊，你增加多啲商業嘅地方啦，你好似車厘湖咁樣，而家好多啲鋪頭都執咗，都冇辦法開翻門喺度做生意，咁你哋梗係有時啲人去買嘢各方面都唔方便啦。咁你要起碼增加啲生意啦，人哋覺得喺呢度嚟買嘢啊，出街食嘢啊都方便啲，咁啲人就願意留低喺度咯。同埋嗰個治安啦，就要多啲警察喺度周圍巡邏下啦，即係保證啲居民嘅安全啦，就唔好好似以前咁多啲咁嘅又搶嘢又偷嘢咁樣。你有一個好嘅 safe 嘅 play 啦，咁啲人先願意留低喺度啊嘛。你如果搞到治風好似好差咁，啲人就梗係污走噶啦。呢樣嘢就另外咧，得 supervisor 啦，因為我哋之前2屆嘅 supervisor 都唔係話點樣為新潟嗰啲居民做嘢嘅都，所以咧第一個 supervisor 再重選嘅時候咧，新潟啲居民都冇選佢啦，嗰台啦。咁選咗呢個 supervisor 上嚟之後咧，佢又係冇乜點樣同新潟爭取福利所以新潟啲居民咪列 call 佢咯，所以佢而家冇得做咯。咁咪希望第3個呢個啦，就盡量甚至喺新潟居民個利益就同新潟做多啲好嘢咯，同埋向 city 同新潟啲居民爭多啲福利咯。
My name's Valen I moved up here from Los Angeles. I lived 8 years in Los Angeles and 31 years in San Francisco. I moved to Sunset in the year 2009. I moved from city of Richmond into the Sunset in 2009.
How would you describe your relationship with this neighborhood?
The neighborhood is very quiet. It's very sad. When we first initially moved in here, it's very quiet. A lot of older generation, a lot of seniors. And for the past maybe 20 years, a lot of seniors have I guess passed away or moved out, and the younger residents in San Francisco has moved in. So now Sunset is full of families with maximum average maybe 2 child in each family.
And I see that there's going to be a lot of development going on around the neighborhood. Would there be some positives, and what are some negatives that maybe you're seeing out of this?
There's actually more negative than positive because, of course, we need low-income housing, but the problem is a lot of the development in the Sunset is not to enhance the neighborhood.
And now I would really want to focus on the main topic of this interview, which is what happened with Prop K and the opening of Sunset Dunes Park and the closing of the Great Highway, as I'm sure you noticed just from commuting around.
The closing of the Great Highways actually increased the traffic on all the other street. There's a good side and there's also a bad side because living here for the past, over 20 years, the Great Highway needs to be maintained maybe 3 or 4 times a year because the wind, the sand shifting ever close to the road, so the city needs to have the bulldozer out here 3 times a year just to push the sand back to the ocean. So even when the Great Highway was open, a lot of the time the road closure was due to a lot of sand coming onto the road. Instead of closing the road the way they did, they should have thought about trying to keep the sand away from the road. Because right now, even if they close the road or even if they have the road open to automobile, the sand will eventually overtake the barriers and it will cover the road eventually as well. So due to maybe if there's more people using the park or using Ocean Beach, the city will have to maintain and have the bulldozer out here constantly. It's going to be over maybe 5 times a year just to push the sand back to the ocean.
And I'm sure you're aware of this connection of the park and the opening of the park and the maintenance of the park to the political sphere in San Francisco. As just recently, Joel Engardio was forced to step down with the Prop A special election. You have any reflections on what happened?
He messed up. He promised he wasn't gonna close the road, and he closed. But overall, if you think about it, there's a bigger agenda going on. There are a lot of developers who's trying to they're looking at Sunset as sort of like a development. As resident here, the traffic used to be very mild. Now because they closed the road, there are a lot of traffic now. And the bad thing is with the road closure, with Ocean Beach, Great Highway closure, they should have had a more, I guess, local resident input. Because when the measure went through to have the road closed, most people in Sunset did not want the Great Highway to be closed. But due to politically development, there are a lot of money to be made if the developer can get their hand on the Great Highway and develop that area. It's going to be it's going to cause more traffic here without consulting with the resident in Sunset. Of course, if you consult San Francisco resident, majority of San Franciscan is going to tell you, oh, it's great to close it. But if you live here, right in front of the Great Highway, you would think differently.
I see. And exactly what does it look like with the impact of the Great Highway being closed? What does that look like in terms of the impact on your day-to-day life?
More cars, more people in a hurry, rushing. I've seen cars going beyond 30 when they should be going around 15, 20 because there are a lot of children here. San Francisco students are going to school at about from 9 o'clock to 9:30. That's when they go into class. So that's the time between 8:30. That's when the traffic picks up. And then kids are getting off at 4:30. So that's when the time when people get off work. So they're crossing the city to get to the Golden Gate Bridge. And that's where the problem with children and high-speed automobiles.
So let's just get on with what are you hoping for in terms of the future outlook in the direction of the city, the Sunset, and what evolutions and developments are you hoping to see? And do you think, in what ways are we moving there in the positive direction in your personal opinion, and also in the negative direction?
It all depends. Due to the economic downturn, you're looking at about good, and the deficit in California budget, you're looking at nothing will be done within the next 15 to 20 years. There's no money. They're gonna do patchwork for political reason. And I know developer wants to get a hold of the Great Highway developed to make it into either Malibu Beach, like in Los Angeles County, somewhere people can go, but in that process they will increase the traffic in the Sunset. We need better planning. The city developers or the city management gonna relinquish or redevelop the Great Highway. There is no parking. There is no way around it unless you push the sand out further and put up a barrier between the water and the Great Highway. But overall, there is no development. There won't be any development in my future as due to the economic downturn. And there is basically no development. They're just gonna leave it here. Now, since it's closed, it hasn't changed. The city's gonna have to spend money still to push the sand back, and nothing gets developed, no money comes in. So basically you have an empty road with not enough people to, not enough to attract any kind of business. Nothing will be done. And right now with the road closure, it's just basically leaving the road open and closed. It's a big mess. Closure, recall, a wasted money. How much money was cost to have the Great Highway closed? But for the next 15 to 20 years, nothing will be done. It will be an empty road with few minor local people visiting and maybe people from across town to come and visit. But there's nothing there. The ocean beach is not clean. It's not white sand beach. There's dirt there. There's still homeless people living there. but now the road is gonna be closed. And the sad thing is, I'm scared that San Francisco will push the homeless people closer to the beach area. So we're stuck.
Everybody, I'm leaving this part out because some of these numbers are not entirely accurate. So please take these numbers with a grain of salt. However, I do think that the broader problems are worth discussing and worth sharing. So take that as you will.
California has deficit over $225 billion. They're cutting the
God.
school fund. They're cutting all the school funding. Everybody's getting cut. So
Really?
yeah, so no money. So right now, even though they closed the road, nobody's gonna come here because it's cold, it's dirty, and there's homeless. You open the road, you get still, the traffic will go on through, but nobody will come here either. You have every day, you only have regular people walking their dog, maybe one day. I give 500 people back and forth. Not even 500, sometimes that's too much. But, yeah. But you have a lot of dog walker, but you spend close to $55 million to close the $55 million to close the road and then to recall the supervisor. Oh my God!
Jeez, I didn't know about these numbers.
Every time you put a ballot on the what you call it, you spend more than that because you know why? The commercial that they use every minute is about $2 million to $4 million per minute.
The spot on the TV to buy it, that's how much it costs.
Recall Engardio.
Oh man.
It's over $50-some million from who? It's from the people, not the money coming out of pocket. It's the city fund. Because we're allowed to use to recall whatever, so it's from the city fund. So instead of the money that's supposed to go to student to put the damn ballot on there, that's money.
Oh my God.
And to recall Engardio, money. I can say this whole entire thing is close to $100 million. But I don't know, I have the exact amount, but every time they do a commercial, how many commercials they've done? They've done a lot of commercial to recall Engardio.
Was it almost inevitable that some Engardio supporters were going to counter ballot to it?
No.
No?
It's basically the people who they tried to at the end.
Yeah.
They came out too late. But the problem, we're already people are already tired of politicians. You promise one thing, you come into office, and then you renege on your word. Because that's what he did. Before he got elected, he's promised he wasn't going to close it. Right after he got elected, he closed. He went back on his word. And people are tired.
I wonder what the vision was there for him.
There's a bigger vision. They're trying to chop it up. They're trying to chop up the because San Francisco needs money. They need commerce. Fisherman's Wharf is gone. Right now, all the business is dying. Everything is dying because of Trump, because of COVID, because of political whatever. There's no political will to fix anything. There's only political will to maintain their job. So basically, they're gonna go towards any kind of, I guess, issue for San Francisco. But there is no issue for San Franciscan right now. The only issue in the next year or so, in the next 5 years, you're gonna see our education's gonna bomb. It sucks. All the money's gonna be gone. Berkeley's gonna be affected too because all the Chinese, they're no longer coming. All the Canadians are gone. All the Chinese from China, they are gone. They pay full tuition. You pay 30%. That's how they make their money. So when there's no more Chinese people from China, they're gone. They're not coming over here anymore. So people from Canada, they're gone too, from Europe because of Trump. And then that's why initially, before Trump got in, it was deficit of $50 billion. Now California is close to $360 billion in deficit. $360 billion deficit. They already cut the school funding. They're gonna cut the Medicare and Medicaid because they're already nationwide, they already start cutting, but California's still allowed to, the Affordable Care Act, they're gonna try to extend it out, but how long can you extend it out to? So, next, California, Berkeley, any UC system, they're gonna lose a lot of money. You're gonna see a lot of classes that gonna, because right now, in every single high school, every single middle school in San Francisco, they have a minimum of 3 to 4 substitute. Substitute are not certified teachers. They don't have credential, so they don't have anybody. So my kid goes to AP Giannini. He has 3 to 4 substitute there at all times because a lot of nobody's becoming teachers. Nobody wants to become teachers. They can't afford it. You know the low-income housing that they fix on 42. They give the teacher a discount, but you know how much the apartment costs?
How much?
$850,000. That's already with the discount.
Wait, $850,000
for apartment.
What do you mean? Like
you can buy it.
Oh, you can buy the apartment like a condo almost.
Yeah, but it's $850,000. If for the regular people it's $1.3 million. How can a teacher afford an $850,000 house even with the discount?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
小心啲刺啊！
炒牛肉。
你又識炒牛肉？
You see, this is something that that I wish we did more in class, where we go into more case studies, because we talk so broadly on these issues. We never, because you miss so much. Like I understand to the extent of just like the general political thinking going on when it comes to recall Joel and the closing of it. That's all straightforward. That's all very surface level. But I don't know the nitty gritty of these numbers and exactly what's going on. And that really ties things together.
Because the reason why I say people in Sunset should be careful of closing down the Great Highway. A lot of people, especially the billionaires from all over Silicon Valley. Even though in San Jose, it's still sucked down there. The places in San Francisco, Bay Area, all the way straight down. That's why the value, even though everywhere goes down, the value of the land in San Francisco, Burlingame, Millbrae, San Mateo, they remain high. And with the development, with the road, thank you. But with the closure of the Great Highway, somebody, I'm telling you straight up, some developer is pushing money into our political system to have the road closed and eventually have them, give them the right to develop the Great Highway. Once they develop the Great Highway,
I gotta check the time. Okay.
Traffic is harsh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Sunset is the testing it's the testing ground for to redevelop this area, to make it nice, do whatever. So that's why there's a lot of hidden. You might not. This is money. Billionaires, they have time to wait. If this political term does not do it, they'll do it again. They keep on doing it. They keep on doing it until they get what they want. Because everybody can fight right now, but you could only fight for 4 to 8 years. But it has to be longer than that. Everything that we have, the political system, they keep on pushing it. Even though you're against Engardio, you're gonna push, against LaGuardia. Okay, next year he's gonna get on the ballot. You're gonna push again. Don't elect him. Don't elect him. You're gonna fight again. But on the third, you're tired. Now you have kids. You're not gonna fight anymore. This is the same with every single ballot measure. Time is on their side. They have money. The rich people have been trying to take over San Francisco, coastline of San Francisco. They've been doing that forever. They already taken over, the marina, right? North Beach. They're talking about even the Embarcadero. Those places are those places along the Embarcadero, apartments are $3-4 million, buddy.
Oh my God.
When you get older, if you live in San Francisco, you can't afford it. I can guarantee you that. With the job that you're gonna get, because slowly, you see how they first UCSF took over 3rd Street along the water, right? And then you go up to Harrison, Embarcadero. Those are $1 million apartments, $3-4 million, because it's right next to the coastline. And then you come into Chinatown. Chinatown is a protected landmark. They can't do much about it, but they went for along the Bay Street, Marina.
Christie Field? No.
Yeah, all that area. How much are they? They're millions, right? Every house is $3-4 million easy.
Yeah.
Some houses are 10 million. You know all those?
Yeah.
And they're coming up to what? Russian Hill. Millions, right?
Yeah.
And they go up to